in partnership with CommSec.
Joining us from CommSec is Tom Piotrowski. Good morning to you, Tom. So are you expecting a turbulent week this week?
Kenny, I think that you could reasonably expect some volatility this week, given everything that we've got to look forward to. We've got an RBA decision tomorrow. We've got the US election. We've got a US Federal Reserve decision. So amidst all of that, there is plenty of scope for prices moving around a little bit, but everyone is now firmly preoccupied with the election outcome in the United States. And that was colouring the performance of US stocks on Friday. We actually saw a constructive session in the final aftermath. The Nasdaq was up by 0.8%. You had the S&P 500 up 0.4%. But in the day, we saw the release of the most recent employment figures in the US, the non-farm payrolls numbers, as they're called, for the month of October. And this figure was just a shadow of the improvement that we saw in the month before, and that was all turning around the weather events and strike action that coloured the last month, Kenny. So the initial response on the markets was that we saw quite a substantial fall in long and short-term interest rates, which tends to be quite interesting in the context of the way those interest rates have moved up over the course of the last couple of weeks in anticipation of Donald Trump's victory in the election. So the market's still calibrated towards that. That would be where the shock would tend to come from for the markets if you saw a Harris victory in the next couple of days. So that's the context from that vantage point. At the other end of the spectrum, excluding the jobs figures, there was quite a lot of corporate news. We saw Amazon shares up by about 6% on better than expected earnings. Intel also enjoying similar fortunes. Chevron, the energy company, up 3% on better earnings, although Apple shares were down by about 1% on the back of some concerns about their sales in China. The Aussie dollar is still under pressure, and this is, again, a reflection of what is happening around the US election. The US dollar's rallying, so that's pushed the Aussie back to around 65.6 US cents.
Okay, Tom, thanks for that. We'll check in with you again soon.